Welcome to 3 Minute Thursdays.
3 Minute Thursdays are a short breakdown of topics that you will see within your flight training here at UND. The goal is for you, the student, to have a better understanding of what it takes to become a safe, professional pilot.
Hello, my name is Zach Dabrowski and I'm a lead flight instructor for UND Aerospace. Steep turns are a flight maneuver that will be evaluated during stage checks and check rides throughout your entire aviation career, from private pilot all the way to ATP. It's a maneuver that requires divided attention in the aircraft to maintain that perfect bank angle and pitch attitude to perform a smooth, well-executed steep turn. Today, we are going to focus on some tips and tricks for steep turns that will apply to both the private pilot applicant as well as the commercial pilot applicant. One of the first key components of a successful steep turn is the roll-in. We know that we are going to bank the aircraft to 45 degrees per the private pilot ACS and to 50 degrees per the commercial pilot ACS. Remember, we are converting our vertical component of lift into horizontal component of lift, which is going to require us to increase our back pressure and power in order to maintain altitude and airspeed. The increase in both power and back pressure should begin as the aircraft is rolling through approximately 30 degrees of bank. Power will need to increase approximately 200 RPM, but remember, this amount changes for every flight dependent on atmospheric conditions. Having the correct sight picture is crucial for steep turns, as this maneuver should be flown by focusing your attention outside 90% of the time. As we continue to bank towards 45 or 50 degrees, we will need to increase the back pressure in order to maintain our altitude. When turning the aircraft in a left steep turn, the horizon should cross close to these screws above the PFD. When in a right steep turn, the horizon should cross where the glare shield curves in the Piper Archer. Many factors can affect this sight picture, such as seat position or pilot height. Be sure to have your instructor show you where your specific references are located in the aircraft. I often see errors during steep turns anytime the aircraft is in a transition period, such as when rolling in or out of the maneuver. Something to be aware of is how your arm naturally moves when applying aileron. When a pilot is in the left seat, they will be using their left arm to apply control inputs. If we look at how the arm naturally moves, we can see that as left aileron is applied, there is also a slight rearward movement. This causes an increase in pitch prior to when it should be applied and results in a climb and decrease in airspeed. The increase in pitch during the roll-in caused by adding additional back pressure too early is one of the most common reasons for steep turns to go poorly. There are two ways to fix this. The first is to keep your visual scan moving to ensure that as you bank, your horizon does not change when referencing the center of the cowling. The second technique involves bringing your elbow up, as seen here, which prevents the incidental increase in altitude. The only way to add back pressure from this position is to bend at the elbow, which can only be done purposely. It is awkward at first, but if you tend to pitch up during the roll-in, this may be a helpful technique for you. Now, some of you may be thinking that the additional back pressure is going to be tough to hold in order to maintain your altitude. This is where aircraft trim is very helpful to make your job easier. My recommendation is to get your bank, power, and pitch set to hold the altitude and airspeed perfectly prior to reaching for the trim. This way, your focus is outside to lock in that sight picture. Once you have the sight picture where you want it, then be sure to move only your right arm and shoulder to adjust the trim wheel. Often, and without knowing it, the tendency is to lean forward when reaching for the trim wheel. This will cause the aircraft to pitch down slightly. By keeping your eyes outside and limiting movement in your right arm and shoulder, you will prevent the nose from dropping while reaching for the trim. Since we are now trimmed to hold the pitch attitude while on a bank, we must be careful not to balloon as you exit the steep turn due to the back trim you entered in earlier. You will need to apply forward pressure until you have fully exited the turn, then reset the trim for level flight. Steep turns are a great way to apply your skills as a private or a commercial pilot. The next time you practice them, pay close attention to your arm movement throughout the transition of the turn. Proper use of trim makes small corrections in pitch and power go a long way. And as with any VFR maneuver, keep your eyes outside and find sight references that will work for you. Fly safe, and we'll see you on the flight line.
Thank you for watching 3-Minute Thursdays. If you have a topic that you would like to see covered, please comment below.
Hello, my name is